Hello and welcome to Smoke Mayor's Gaming and Car Tour. Today I'm going to be going through my Sisters of Battle arms for Warhammer 40k. This one has just been primed and dry brushed, and it's a castigator which I've got to paint yet. Bought this pre-assembled, unpainted. This gun's actually just magnetised, but not for changing reasons. It's just because it doesn't swivel otherwise, and I wanted to make them so they would swivel, partly to make it easier to paint as well. So they fit on there. There you go. And this is the emulator, which is the same stage, partly disassembled, ready to paint. Then we've got these are the Gemini Superior, which go with Celestine. Got the power effect on, so all the lumps of stones on the bases are partly for decoration, but they're also partly because they're quite a top-heavy model, and they had a tendency to fall over. But weighting the bases with these big stones has alleviated that problem. If you like the way this gold looks, to paint that, basically I paint chainmail silver and then I paint Iandin yellow contrast over the top. And this one's Celestine herself, and she doesn't have quite the same issue of gone for a fairly sort of warp fire eyes look on that. And again, we've gone for the power effect on the power sword. Some little squiggly lines for writing there. This, unfortunately, is a guy who I may not get to use for much longer. He's a missionary, and the new Codex doesn't have a missionary in it. Basically, they've got one datasheet for Ministorum Priest, which covers presumably what was the missionary and the preacher, but I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if this loadout that this model has is compatible with that datasheet. My other priestly guy, preacher here, is one that I kept bashed to have his own vindicator. It's got the fuel tank on the back there, and that's the chain sword. There's some little green stuff flames on the end. I could certainly play him as a Ministorum Priest, but the missionary I'm not sure about. These guys here are my only fine cast models, and again they are no longer going to be playable in a tournament list because they've been moved to Legends. Those are Crusaders, and they were quite a good value, cheap squad to sit on an objective, although fine cast is a horrible material to work with. Next we've got my Junith Urita model, and she was bought assembled, unpainted, and I had to do quite a lot of work to sort out. I had to basically very carefully break her apart because she hadn't been glued together very well, and to paint it properly, the only way I could do that and get to everywhere was by breaking it apart. But in the end, I'm reasonably happy with how she turned out. To go with her, we've got a squad of celestial sacrosancts, and they may look a little bit odd because you'll notice they don't have weapon arms. They do, but they're all magnetised, so they can all have either the halberd or the mace. And the superior, she can have either the halberd or the spear of the faithful, but in honesty there's not much reason not to go for the spear of the faithful. The gun is a melter pistol. I think it's called an Inferno pistol, and that's not magnetised because it would have been a pain to do. Then we've got 3 Arco Fighter Hunts, which again, the idea was that they would go with the preacher. These were an eBay purchase, but I think they're the ones that come with the the old combat patrol. Again, another nice little squad to sit on an objective. Cheap squad who, particularly the preacher in the index rules, he gave them devastating wounds, I think, or lethal hits rather. Luckily, they'll still be playable with the Codex and in squad of 3. They may only be useful in squad of 10 now. I haven't had a chance to look at the Codex yet. Then we've got another board assembled unpainted. This is the Palatine model. I was putting here with the Battle Sisters to give them various buffs. Probably still do the same when we start playing Codex rules. And also with the Battle Sisters, because you can put 2 characters in certain circumstances. We've got this Imagifier I painted here. Again, she gives the Battle Sisters a 4+ invul, so she does make them a little bit more sustainable. These are the actual Battle Sisters squads here. That's a Simulacrum. The melter weapon is actually magnetised, but again, the way it's magnetised isn't the whole weapon. I just changed the end, so that there is the melter end. But there's a flamer end as well, which can go on. I just kept the backpack and the cable the same, just for simplicity's sake, so I can change it between games. That's the such a superior who has a magnetised combi weapon, but which is now past 9th edition, is now a bit pointless because the combi weapons just does one thing now. Then we've got Morven Val, who was a great model to paint. Really enjoyed painting Morven Val, and she's got some really great abilities. She plays really well on the table. And again, if you want to get this kind of yellowy gold look, the way I did that was with chainmail silver, and then painting iron and contrast over the top, and then just a light dab of slightly diluted Nuln oil just to finish it off, to get that look. Not exactly like the box art, but it's kind of heavily inspired by it. And she's got I don't know if it's still true in the index, in the Codex, but in the index she did give these Paragon war suits reroll hits and reroll wounds, and these are all magnetised again, so they can have any melee weapons, shoulder weapons, or arm weapons. The only difference with the arm weapons, what I did with the Paragon war suits to make it a little bit easier, is basically this upper arm here is magnetised, and then these weapons just clip off and on it, but it means you can always get the different weapons to fit reasonably well, and you can have the storm bolters or the missile launch at the top. And the little plastic pots have got the spare magnetic weapons in, and that is the whole army almost. I've also got 10 Repentia, 5 Zephyrim and 5 Seraphim to do. I'm in the process of doing the Seraphim at the moment, and I've got a bit of a pile of shame to work my way through there. I've got an Exorcist, some Retributors, a Dialogus, a Hospitalia, and a couple of Penitent Engines. Altogether, I'm hoping it'll give me about 2,000 points, even though I'm losing the Crusaders, and I don't know yet if I can fit this missionary guy back in, but we will see. Hopefully I can get a playable 2,000 point army before they change the rules again, and more models go to Legends. But that's Games Workshop on Warhammer for you. Hope you found it interesting, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe.